What's good, y'all? It's your boy Smith. Today, we out here just doing it again. We're going to be talking about African fire skinks. We're going to be talking about their size, their availability, their enclosures, pretty much how you keep African fire skinks. We're not talking about the babies today, just the adults. But let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to talk availability for a second. African fire skinks are readily available. You can find them everywhere. Check Morph Market. All of your big like online reptile breeders and dealers, they're all selling African fire skinks. The price changes dramatically depending on the morph though. And yes, I did say morph because now we're dealing with morphs when it comes to African fire skinks. From your high reds to your melanistics, your cobalts, there's all types of cool morphs coming out now. So you can find a regular African fire skink for anywhere from $40 to $50, from a good breeder probably up to $100. But when you're getting into morphs, it's going to dramatically change the price. Much like anything, ball pythons, leopard gecko, anything. When the morphs get involved, your price goes up a little bit. And also watch out for field collected specimens. They are still bringing in wild caught fire skinks all the time. Stay away from field caught. Try to get your animals from a good breeder. Hit me up. I got your back. Alright, so these African fire skinks hatch out about 2 to 3 inches long. They're pretty small, but they grow fast. The first like 8 to 10 months, they will grow 8 to 10 inches, literally. Especially with the right diet. If you're feeding them right, dusting the crickets, all that, or dusting the food and all that, they'll grow really fast in the first couple of months. So just be ready. About anywhere from 9 to 11 inches for the adults. Now they say these animals can live up to 15, 20 years in captivity, which makes sense to me. We can protect them from predators and sickness. That makes a whole lot of sense to me. So, but I don't know. I haven't had them that long. Enclosure size. Okay, so like we said, they hatch out really small, right? They hatch out really small. So you would probably be inclined to put them in like a 20 gallon, but remember that they grow quick. They grow really fast. So you got to be ready. For an adult, I recommend like a 40 gallon breeder, something like this. Put them in a 40 gallon breeder. Go ahead and make it bioactive, get it set up right out the gate. But almost anything will suffice. Like I said, right out the gate, they hatch out 2 to 3 inches. So 20 gallon, 30 gallon, 40 gallon. You can put them in small exoterras, big exoterras, and upgrade them as they get older. Some of mine have went right into 40 gallon breeders the day they were born. And your enclosure doesn't have to be too tall. Height doesn't really matter when it comes to these animals. They spend a lot of their time burrowed in the substrate anyway. So just give them a little bit more space. What is that? Horizontally? I don't know. Something like that. Whatever substrate you use, whether it be ABG mix or me, I use just cocoa fiber, straight blocks of cocoa fiber, right? Whatever you use, just make sure that it retains moisture, doesn't mold, and can hold its form pretty well. These animals do like tunnel systems. I wouldn't say that they use the same tunnel systems over and over again. My animals aren't like that. I haven't seen that, but they burrow. That's their form of travel for the most part. So make sure they have the ability to do that, so they feel secure, they feel safe, they can come out when they want to and deal with you on their terms. It'll make your animal incredibly more comfortable. What are we talking about again? Temperature. All right, check. Cool side, 80 to 85 degrees, right? Hot side, 90 to 95 degrees. If you go over a little bit, don't stress out. If your cool side's done right, then they can just retreat back to the cool side. So, but nothing over 100 degrees on your basking spot. You don't want to burn these animals or heat stroke, none of that. So, hot side, 90 to 95. Cool side, 80 to 85. And keep the humidity up. Although these reptiles are a burrowing species and primarily spend a lot of their time underground, we still want to give them UVA and UVB, whether that be a tube light or a bulb light. Just find some way to get UVA, UVB rays down inside of that enclosure. Now, I read some reports that in the wild, these animals are actually omnivores. They eat fruit. I haven't tried this with my fire skinks yet. I'm going to, but in captivity, they'll eat any feeder insect you put in front of them. Dubia roaches, horned worms, mealworms, super worms, wax worms, black soldier fly larvae, anything, even a pinky, anything you put in front of these animals that is small enough to fit in their mouth, they'll eat it. So in captivity, we have the ability they have a wide selection of feeder insects. So go ahead and mix up the diet a little bit. They're not missing on any nutrition at all. They're not missing out on anything. So go ahead and mix up the diet a little bit. See what your animal likes. And before I move on to my next point, I need to make sure I tell you guys, make sure to dust your feeders. Calcium powder, vitamin D3, vitamin without D3, whatever your animal needs, make sure you dust your feeders, please. Now put a big water bowl inside your fire skinks enclosure. It'll help bring the humidity up a little bit. Now I don't really catch my animals drinking too much. We still provide them with fresh drinking water all the time. More often than not, I'll find my fire skinks burrowed under the water bowl. I guess it acts as like a extra humid pocket on the cool side. It happens in multiple enclosures. A lot of the animals do it. They are always under their water bowls. So just make sure you include a water bowl. You keep your water clean, make sure it's treated and all of that. All right, let's talk about handling. Some fire skinks like it, some fire skinks don't. The ones behind me, Bowser, my male, I could go in that enclosure and just pick them up. In this enclosure, no, I'm not doing that. The female inside that enclosure, she tries to bite me on purpose. She will jump past the tongs. When I'm trying to feed her, she'll jump past the tongs and bite my hand. She did it 4 times in like 3 minutes one time. I swear, she just wants to fight me. She swings her tail like she swings her tail at me like a monitor or like a tegu, or some of them will tolerate handling and some of them absolutely will not. And I think that concludes my African fire skink speed run. Yeah, remember to check in with us weekly, man. I'm doing content on all types of animals, fish, birds, insects, reptiles. We're doing content on all types of animals, so like, subscribe, join the family, man. This is All Things Living. We're talking about all things living. Who knows? We may even be talking about you.